What is going on, guys? I'm supcharls, and today I'm going to be talking about the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer beta, basically with my experience with it. And I know it is pretty late to do that, and yeah, even though it is late, I thought, I'm pretty sure I did say I would try it at my last commentary, so of course I'm going to do that. And even though the game comes out today and I'm uploading this today, well, I haven't really picked it up yet, so I don't really know how it is yet in terms of multiplayer at least. And yeah, I will share my thoughts about the first weekend because that's where I have most, most experience with, and a little bit from weekend 2 maybe, but it's only 5 matches in total from weekend 2, so it's not much. But I'm gonna start off because my past attempts have taken quite a while for me to basically record. It took over 30 minutes, 20 minutes and stuff like that, so I'm gonna try and keep it quick and simple now. So quickly, the iron sights on the guns, if you can even call it iron sights, but most of the weapons have really good standard sights, I guess, because some of them doesn't even have iron sights, but some built-in reticle of some sort, just like Killzone now has with a red dot, I think. And maybe that's because it's default there, I'm not sure. But basically, the sights in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is pretty good, and I don't really think I would use that much in terms of optics, unless I had to complete challenges or because I just want to see how it looks like with the weapons, because it sometimes looks cooler, just like having a hollow sight or EOTech sight in the past for me. But yeah, that's my next thing. There's no holographic sight in this game, which is really some BS. I don't like that. I have missed the holographic sight since Call of Duty Ghost, actually, because it's not been available in Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3 didn't really have it. I mean, both these games had BOA sight and the autofocus sight, I think it was called, or autofocus. And yeah, Infinite Warfare has something else which I don't know, I'm pretty sure, but I don't expect it to be in the game when I pick it up later and try it. So next up, quickly, matchmaking, terrible. Took really a long time for me to join a match in general. Couldn't join friends. Well, I could, but it took some updates and stuff like that, and even then it took such a long time to be able to join. Next up is I guess kinda with the matchmaking, but when you quit a match, you basically get out to the multiplayer main menu, as I call it, where you basically choose play online, play local, and the options is probably there in store and stuff like that. That is when you quit a match, you get over to that main multiplayer menu, as I call it, of course. And yeah, I would like to see that just let you quit out to the multiplayer menu itself, where you play online, I guess. Don't know how to describe it and explain it, but still, I think that it should just be like that. I hope the full game will have that. It's a minor issue, but still something annoying, for me at least. Next up is the creator class. You can spin your weapon for some reason when you're at the loadout screen, and the attachments doesn't really show up unless it's a grip, an optic, or a silencer, I think. And that is pretty BS, because I really like Black Ops 3's way of doing it. You can spin the weapon with the loadout menu. You can see the attachment because they are all designed, special designs for each gun, which is really awesome. And yeah, something I had hoped Infinite Warfare would do as well, or Infinity Ward would do. And sadly, from the beta, it doesn't seem that they actually did that, so that sucks, but minor issue again. Now, supply drops, not a big fan of it, but it's probably gonna stay in Call of Duty. I mean, it makes money, so obviously they will probably keep it in there. And yeah, don't know what to say. Weapon variants as well. I don't know what to say about weapon variants. It's stupid to me. I mean, I think it should just be removed from the game. I would prefer having more guns than more different weapon variants of each gun. I wish that they could just add more guns into the game instead. And yeah, in general, variants, not a cool thing for me. Don't like that in order to get a nuke you actually have to have a certain weapon variant of it, of a specific gun as well. And also, I don't like that you basically have to try and unlock it with salvage that costs so much. And yeah, in general, duplicates from supply drops doesn't really give you that much salvage either. I mean, they did increase and stuff like that, but I'm not sure how much. And another thing is with supply drops, which I could quickly mention, duplicates, the chance of getting those are really high, to be honest, man. I mean, I got duplicates twice, the same duplicate twice in a row, which was a calling card of something, can't remember. But yeah, really annoying. Wish it was just like Uncharted 4, where you basically get no duplicates at all. That is something I really like with Naughty Dog's decision to do that. It is something I would want with more game developers taking that approach instead. But yeah, it is what it is. Next up is the time to kill, or weapon balance, because time to kill to me felt really weird. Don't know what it is about it, but sometimes I would kill an enemy like, let's say 4 shots. It should be usual in a Call of Duty game, but other times it would take like 10 plus bullets for me. And yeah, in general, it's where I hit them in the upper body, so I don't really understand why they don't die. And then yeah, they can run around the corner and quickly jump back with the frost jumping thing and just quickly kill me instead. And that is some BS, because I remember having a few situations like that. And yeah, not a big fan of the time to kill, but they did implement a new time to kill system, I'm pretty sure. So they did balance the weapons in some way, I expect, not sure. But in general, those two tying together, so it kind of makes sense. Now the map design, I like all the maps in terms of how they were, except Frost, because the layout was just weird to me and it was too big. I didn't like the map itself, but I liked the location of it, which was planet Jupiter's moon, Europa, which is a icy moon, I think that's how it's said in English. And yeah, interesting location, just not a fun map layout, I guess you could say. So I didn't enjoy it that much, but Precinct, I think that's how you pronounce it, Frontier, Terminal, and Throwback were all 4 great maps, and well, Frost was not that good. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Next up is probably the kinda like matchmaking again, maybe, but when you join a match which has it's a 6v6, and basically you play TDM, and the other team enemies decides to quit, and because of that some of your teammates decide to quit as well, because they have a hard time finding enemies or something like that. Let's just pretend it's like that. And basically you play and you notice that there isn't many players in that lobby or match, whatever, and you wonder if there's gonna be anyone that joins it. But sadly, for some reason, with my experience, no one can join a ongoing match, because I had several matches where it ended up being a 2v1 where I'm alone, or a 2v2, maybe 3v1 sometimes, or something like that, which is really an annoying thing. I'd hope that, just like past Call of Duty games, people could just join, and basically they can't do that in this beta, at least. I'm not sure if they fixed it. I'll see that. I'll check it out later. But yeah, that's something I would like to see fixed. Hopefully it is. Now the game modes, front line, I'm pretty sure it was called, and defender, I like both, but defender was probably my favorite of those two. Drop zone is back, which is what I'll be playing the most probably, so I'm glad with that. Infected is also back, just messed up. Hopefully they fixed it with this, I don't know, 2 weeks time they've had or something like that. And yeah, in general, it's a pretty solid game, but it also has a lot of issues, sadly. So I don't really know what to say from my experience with it so far. I like the game, but at the same time would like to see a lot of fixes actually. But yeah. Next up is probably a minor issue for some people, but the grenade launcher has been taken out of the game completely for like 2 years in a row actually. Advanced Warfare did have it, but Black Ops 3 doesn't have grenade launchers. Infinite Warfare will not either, from what I've seen. And that is some BS because I really miss using the grenade launcher. I'm not trying to say that NoobTube is the way to go, but I miss using a grenade launcher which you can just use as a, I guess, anti-camping tool. Because it was a really good way to take out campers. I remember still doing, well actually still do that when I play Modern Warfare 2 on PC. I still use the grenade launcher a lot in those kind of situations. But in general I miss the grenade launcher. I mean, the AIX classic weapon does have a built-in grenade launcher from what I've seen. Haven't used it so I can't tell, but I mean, I miss the grenade launcher in general for all the assault rifles or something like that. And yeah, score streaks also really quickly, didn't like it. Well, I didn't like most of them. UAV, counter UAV is probably the only thing I'll always rock with. I don't know what the third streak would be actually, but yeah, not a big fan of the score streaks either. I miss the good old Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3's kind of kill streaks or point streaks back at the day, and it would be something like AC-130 and AGM Reaper, whatever you want to call it, the chopper gun and all those things. But yeah, then again, I don't have experience with all the higher score streaks in Infinite Warfare, so I can't really judge them yet, and I can't really tell if they are good or not. But from my experience with the Warden and stuff like that, they are really pretty much useless for me actually. So yeah, I don't like them. And really quickly, I like the fact that you can actually change your combat rig in game. That is something I would have loved to see with Black Ops 3 back, well actually last year or this year, whatever. But yeah, you should get what my point is. So Black Ops 3 didn't let you do that. I'm glad that Infinity Ward took that approach and let you basically choose your combat rig in game. One thing I don't like about it though is that you have traits, or I'll just call them perks because I remember it best like that. But the combat rig perks really is something that I would like to see removed and just added into the normal perk selection, because it is kinda annoying that the merc can get the ICU perk from Call of Duty Ghosts, basically, where you get faster health regeneration. I mean, it kinda makes sense with the merc combat rig maybe, but to me I just don't like it. I mean, Warfighter have that ping perk from Ghost as well. Doesn't make sense to me either. I mean, yeah, I just don't think it should be exclusive to a combat rig, that's all I'm trying to say. And also, the equipment, there's no frag or semtex as a normal frag and semtex from past Call of Duty games, as I know of. And that is really, I'm not sure if it's a bad thing, but for me personally, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that a frag grenade has been replaced with a cluster bomb, I think it was called, and the semtex was replaced with, I don't even know what it was, but yeah, the semtex replacement wasn't really that good either to me, and the cluster bomb sucked. Really didn't really grant me any kills or anything like that, even though it should kill them. But yeah, my experience with those types of grenades is just not good. With, yeah, I'm not gonna keep complaining about it, but basically I want the normal frag and semtex, and yeah, it's sad that it's not coming back. Maybe it wouldn't make sense in a futuristic sci-fi space shooting game, but doesn't matter. It's maybe the same with score streaks, like in Helicopter or something like that. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Next and last but not least, I will probably say that the beta in general was pretty solid. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was terrible, it was the worst Call of Duty game I've ever tried. I will actually say it was a really solid one, and it actually was more fun to me than Black Ops 3 was, to be honest. When it comes to betas, of course. And you can't really tell with the past Call of Duty games since World War, because they didn't have a beta that you could try out. before. So for me, I like Infinite Warfare, but if I had to rank it, I would probably say it was, I don't know, maybe, well, I'm not gonna come with a top 10 or something like that now. It doesn't make sense to do that. So overall, I just want to quickly say it's a great fun multiplayer, and I would probably say it was, actually worth the money for me, and especially since I also get Modern Warfare Remastered and stuff like that. And yeah, daily bonus login is also a thing, I forgot to mention that. Season pass owners get extra things for it, and I think if you keep logging in several days, you'll get some sort of supply drop maybe, and not only salvage and keys. So yeah, that's a nice thing I would love to see with that since Advanced Warfare. And yeah, that's all I really had to say. The commentary is getting too long, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'm sorry that it took such a long time for me to record this, I guess, first impression or opinion, first thoughts, whatever you want to call it, video on the multiplayer beta. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you viewers on my next video whenever that comes out.